Welcome back to a new episode of Gridiron Guys. I'm your host, Luke, with my co-host, Big Jam.
What's going on, peeps? How about that intro, huh? Give your fiance
Pretty
a
awesome.
shout out. Woo.
Oh, yep. If you that, go find her on social media at Not a Kyber. Anyway, she did a fantastic job, and maybe she'll do more things for us. She's done some of the thumbnails and stuff like that. So, yeah. If you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications so you never miss any of our content. It's time to get into the week that was in college and NFL football. Nate, how was your weekend?
All in all, it was a good weekend because I got a lot of shit done on the farm. For a sports team wise, absolute hell. It was terrible. I had three teams I watched, folks. 3 teams and 0-3 all week.
Bad
And
weekend.
they were all bad. So
bad weekend. I can only salvage my 4-1 record in NFL. That's the only thing. I had the worst week in college football betting. It was by far my worst start of all time, at least this season. So, all right, we're going to talk about the week. We're going to go college first. Towards the end of the college section, I will tell you that I have a couple of rants. Actually, let's get the rants out now.
Get them out.
Real quick. One thing that doesn't pertain to college football is people talking about Travis Kelce and what he should or should not be. What I don't understand is why the anybody gives a about what Travis Kelce does on a bye week. Can you explain that to me? Can we just let the man do what he wants? It's a bye week. He has no responsibility. He was at his girlfriend's concert in Argentina. Like what? Can the guy at least have a life? Are we just going to forget that these people are humans?
I guess I haven't heard much about what he's done. I mean, I've seen shit on him like at a T Swift concert, and he gets his name thrown into a song, dude. That's pretty damn cool.
Karma is the guy on the Chiefs. Yeah, I was like, you know what? Like that Saturday night was like so wild because I was like watching. I can't remember. Like me and Alanis were FaceTiming. And like all of a sudden, like my phone, like I look on, like I'm on Twitter, and I'm like, what the? Like honestly, T Swift fans, I'll give it to you. You guys are dedicated. They have people literally who take over Twitter accounts and live stream the entire concert, which I personally would be like, I'm here to watch Taylor Swift, but then again, it's so crazy how wild they are, and.
They're a different breed, that's for sure, dude. Like they're a whole nother level.
Oh, it's crazy. It's like
fans.
It's like a football fan base, but times like a million.
Oh yeah,
they're wild. It's crazy. But like they brought up the conversation on Good Morning Football. Like I get it. Like but like really, why does it matter?
It should.
He's not a distraction to the team. He didn't do it during a game week. Nor would he.
So. It's not like he just pulled a Dennis Rodman and took a 2-week-long vacation to Vegas.
Yeah.
I mean, like, no, he was on a bye week. If he doesn't come back, which I'm sure he's already back.
Yeah, he's already back.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they had practice today, so he was there. They were there. He got back Monday. But like, come on, why the like, who gives a shit at this point? Like, stupid. I don't care. As a Chiefs fan, I'm like, I don't give a shit because you know what? He's gonna do what he's gonna do. He always shows up and plays. Mm-hmm. He's always on time. He's always there. We've never had issues with him like not being prepared or being like. Yes, he's had bad games, but like, are we gonna blame that on Taylor Swift? Really? Is that what we're gonna blame it on? Ridiculous. And by the way, the Chiefs winners this weekend, and they didn't even touch the field. And we'll get into that a little bit later. College rant. I'm gonna start with the Huskers. Might as well start with the game. Going backwards. Huskers lose to Maryland. They had 5 turnovers. And all of those turnovers, I believe, came from quarterback position, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, every one of them.
Okay. And things online, obviously, it's the minority. Like, obviously, so you have to take social media, blah, blah, blah. Husker fans are the worst in social media, but like I will say they are great in person because it's like you can kind of tell who's not crazy and not. But there were people calling for Sat's head.
I was one of them. I was
which
one of them.
I
I got
which
caught up in the moment.
I get it, but like the way Rule handled that whole situation, he did what a lot of coaches from Nebraska haven't done in a really
Yeah.
long time.
And
He took
that's
credit for
like you're
those plays.
talking like
No, go
you're
ahead.
talking like he backed his OC and everything and
Yeah,
saying, yeah, you know,
yeah.
that's a good call on first down, which still I 100% disagree with. Like you're playing Maryland, your running game is like
I agree
damn
with
good
yeah.
that whole game.
Yeah,
Maryland
they
can't
were
stop it. You have your third string quarterback in there. Why would you pass it? You
No,
know?
I agree.
And
I agree.
like I said, I was one of that. Like after that game, I was like, this motherfucker go. There's a reason why South Carolina wasn't very good with him, and they led the SEC in turnovers at South Carolina. Blah blah blah. Finding all these reasons to justify him getting fired, but you sleep on it and you wake up and you watch like you're watching all that Twitter film and everything. The play was there. It really
Yeah.
was.
No,
If
yeah, no, wait.
Malachi, and I'm not blaming Malachi, I just think inexperience caused that play to shut down. You know, if
No, I
Malachi
agree.
continues to run that route, he catches the ball in the end zone for a touchdown. If he actually, which I think this is what the play call was, since they were in man, he actually takes his man a little shallower in the route. His
Kemp's
man's
open
not,
in the corner.
he's not standing there.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
like I said, I'm not blaming Malachi because Malachi, I mean, he's young, he's
done a
inexperienced.
lot of good things this year.
He'll learn from that shit. You know, I think it's just the way the ball went. So
No, yeah, I agree.
it wasn't a bad ball. It's just that's where it was supposed to go. That's where Kemp was open there. And I mean, it was that back shoulder and everything. It's just it didn't go our way. So
no, yeah, and I mean Sims' interception was not the greatest, but I also think that there was holding on that play. But like you're not gonna get those calls. Like obviously when Heinrich goes down and Jeff that first drive, Jeff was perfect. He was making all the great reads.
The only person standing in Jeff's way is
Jeff. No, yeah.
Humbling.
No,
Like
I
I
agree.
said, the interceptions, yes, at a time they get exhausting and you're pissed and everything, but the fumbles is what kills him.
No, yeah, I agree.
Like
I agree.
Does he have small hands or something? Like, can he not hold on to the ball? Like, what the?
No, when you're like when you're 6'4" and
you
like
think
that,
you'd have mittens out there, you know?
Yeah,
but
no, I agree.
it's just so infuriating. Like, what the?
It is, but like, here's my thing: where have we been successful where we have gotten rid of a coordinator over the last 15 years? Minus Shenander.
No, that was the question. Come on now.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, like
once
we get rid of
once out of 15 years.
Yeah, we get rid of Shins, and like last year, our defense finished top 25. In the back half of the season.
Okay, once.
So that's once. I get what you and Rule are saying. But there does come a time because, like, don't take his side here because you wanted the USC coach or coordinator fired too.
Yeah, but that's
like,
different. That's a different. That is completely different.
It's not different. Their season's still better than ours. Their season's still better than ours.
No. If you're gonna do that, then you have to look at the whole body of work from Oklahoma to where USC was, and nothing had changed. SAT is a complete. Yes, you can look at South Carolina. Like I will give you that. This is year one. It's not year 3 or year 2. It's year 1. Getting rid of a guy like that.
But what's more infuriating is like the play call.
I agree. Like, I don't understand
the play calling is so questionable.
It can be
like what I text
times.
what I text you the other day. Was it yesterday? I think Heinrich was in there. He was in there. We threw the ball almost every other down. Let's say threw the shit out of it. Throwing the ball is not Heinrich's go-to.
No,
it's not. We all know Heinrich is not a passing quarterback. We all know
unless it's wide open.
Unless it's wide open and he's sitting in the pocket. If he's throwing on the run, it's a duck.
Agreed.
So we keep throwing when Heinrich is in there, and I know you can't slim down your offensive play calls just to run because teams dial in on him. Then you got to open it up. I understand that, but then Jeff Sims comes out, who was originally your starter, who you went out and got and scared and told our starter from last year, he won't be the starter here. And your complete offensive playbook changes, and they threw the ball twice when he was in there.
Yeah, I
Like,
agree.
I don't understand that. And they probably had like 4 or 5 drawn up pass plays, but he took them for like a QB run, which is perfect. I'm not bitching about that. It's just, why did that change so much from
Agreed.
Heinrich to Jeff Sims? It feels like, and I love the play. I love like our offensive mindset and scheme.
Yeah,
It's
I
just
agree.
he's making Heinrich just fail. He's setting him up to fail all the time. And then Jeff Sims comes out, oh, we'll dummy it down so you can get on your feet and run and everything. Jeff Sims is a better passer.
Oh,
If
I
you want to
agree.
do all that fancy passing bullshit, pass with him. He has a
Agreed.
of an arm. He's just not very accurate with it so far, but he'll get better at it. So it's the play calling's pissing me off.
And here's the thing, like, and Rule said it perfectly. Like, what does that, he handled that completely perfectly. He said the fan base has a right to be upset. They have every right to be upset. But what happens if we go away from year one and these kids have to learn a whole new system? And yes, most of these guys are so used to having different systems by now. Some of these guys haven't had the same
every
coach.
playbook in the world.
No, literally, at this point. But like, it's so, like, yes, I completely agree that the play calling was so questionable, especially, and I this is where I'm kind of like, yes, the play call would have been there if it was executed, but why on your own 15-yard line when you were getting 5-6 yards of carry, you're throwing it? I get it. I get like you're trying to, like, I want to show them different looks. I get that, but Chubba was cold
take
as
the candy
shit.
when it's right there.
Agreed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Even if they
gotta
run
take
it
the
4
candy
times,
when it's right in front of you. Yep.
Even if they would have
3
ran
games
it 4
won
times.
that game. 3 games or 3 points won that game. You ran it 4 times, like you just said, kicked a field goal. Our defense is fire right now. Like, our defense is
they've
top
gotten
10
2
in
straight
the nation.
turnovers they had gotten 2 straight turnovers in that second half. So the momentum, I feel like, was totally on Nebraska's side, and then just turnovers, man. And it's been this way. Like, Nebraska has led nation in turnovers, not just this last 10 years, since the beginning of the 2000s. We have been the most turnover team in the entire country in 23 years.
We're about to break a record, most turnovers in a year.
Yeah, and we got to cut that out. But like, a defense played well. Like, it really bounced back from Michigan.
Absolutely.
Like, I feel like the corners were playing really well. I mean, again,
they played
but
angry.
besides that big pass in that first half,
like,
that's literally the only big play that they gave up, and then I guess the touchdown. But like, there's nothing you can really do on that. Maryland didn't have a single rushing yard in that first half. 0. They made them very one-dimensional, and I feel like that kept Nebraska in the game. You know what I mean? And I love that touchdown, the fullback, giving the fullback off a sweep.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that play call. That play call should be something that you look at on 3rd and 2. Formation or offset I, give it to him. Because it opened it up. It opened up that whole side. And I know Borker
it's a very unexpected play in today's offensive-minded coaches and defensive-minded coaches. Like, they're not ready for a fullback to, carry it outside like we did. I mean, that was a great play call.
It was a great play call. And I really, really, really want to see more of that. But like, the defense played really well. Special teams, like, again, we don't have a return man, and it's really starting to frustrate me because we are like, our starting position was on our own 15-yard line, whereas Maryland was getting it on their 30, 40-yard line. And that's, little things matter, like time of possession and field position are things that Nebraska needs to grasp at and really take to heart about what they're doing, because they do. They need that. And that was the frustration, is that we had 3 guys come in, and it's like, yes, Heinrich goes down with a high ankle sprain. He's probably not going to be able to play the rest of the year.
Probably not going to be ready.
Which is
unfortunate.
But
what do you do
for the
here?
best.
What do you do here?
Well, They're going with Chuba or Sims. I think they go with Chuba.
What would you? Is that what you would do?
I would do Chuba just because, and here's the thing. Chuba is the healthiest he has been in 2 years. He hasn't shown a lot on film. So Wisconsin doesn't have a whole lot of scouting.
No.
And I think what the game plan will be, it'll be drive by drive. Who executes the best, and it will rotate. I guarantee you it will. And that might work to the advantage of next week's game. It's very hit or miss.
I hope they don't like rotate every other like possession and everything. I hope they give Chuba a real opportunity here, because we know what we're getting in Jeff Sims. I mean, he's a hell of an athlete. He's just not a very good quarterback. He got to learn to hold on the ball. He's got to, and if he held on to the ball, there's no question who I would want to be a starter, because that motherfucker's a freak of nature. He kills us though. Like, we win against Minnesota if he doesn't fumble. We win against, or at least closer against Colorado if he doesn't fumble there.
I think we win outright.
We might have. Chuba gives you the best opportunity to flex and do what you want as an offensive coordinator. He has that arm. He probably outthrow Jeff Sims, more accurate than Jeff Sims, way more accurate than Heinrich. And he's still got. He's not as fast, but he still can get out there and move, as we saw against Maryland.
So, I agreed.
In my opinion, I think you go with Chuba here, and you give Sims a couple of series, and just to keep the defense on their heels and guessing. So we'll see. I mean, if Chuba goes out there and just lays an egg, then I think you got to just go to the safe bet and go to Jeff Sims and just yell at him and say, if you fumble this ball, can't hold on to football, can't hold on whatever the Friday Night Lights saying is. Can you hold on to football? Can't hold on to football. How you gonna hold on? It's so funny.
Yeah.
You just gotta drill it into his head, and I'm sure the kid is smart. He probably is trying his best. It just like when he takes his focus off of that play, it's when shit happens, and he's got to stay focused. That's probably all it is. Don't take anything. Don't take this play for granted. Don't relax on this play. Dude, 2 hands on the ball if you're going to and I would love to see him go out there. Did you just change that? I would love for Jeff Sims to go out there and literally bootleg around and run like a fullback, ball in 2 hands. I would like stand up and be like, oh, go.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting. To go into this Wisconsin game this week and think we don't have a chance because we haven't beat them since 2012. Wisconsin team. No,
that's what
this team
It's not
sucks.
the same Wisconsin team.
No.
Yeah, it's not very good. It's not very good. And we'll talk more about that on Friday's podcast. Another takeaway. We're still in the West. We're still in the West.
Stop.
We're still in the West.
Done with that.
We're still in the West, man. If we win out, we're going to the Big Ten championship. Like, that's like weird as hell. With all the quarterback issues, we still have a chance to make it to Indianapolis, and that's just insanity. That's insanity to me to think that we have such a terrible quarterback room right now. And here's the other thing: the offensive line played well.
Dude, they're playing great.
Game.
Yep.
When was the last time we bitched about Bryce Benhart?
I know.
Think about that.
I know.
Think about that.
Give Raiola his flowers. Maybe even like do some film watching this offseason. Say, hey, you know what? You earned a raise or it's a couple incentives or whatever you want to call it. Give him some, because he really turned this offensive line around. And I think he's not done. I think this guy has a lot of talent just sitting like in his brain. He could like put a great offensive line there right now because the offensive line is still young as shit.
Yeah, and
to see what this offensive line could do in 2 to 3 years, we're going to be pretty nasty in the trenches.
Yeah, and they were giving the quarterback, whoever was the quarterback, time to throw.
Absolutely,
which was wild. But let's move on. We had some firing. We have a weird.
It was almost like a Black Monday.
Yeah. It was weird. It was a weird rumor that I'll get to in a little bit. Fisher is out after beating Mississippi State 51-10, and then Mississippi State fired their interim their head coach, which sucks because that guy got thrown into a shitty situation with.
I wasn't expected to be a head coach there.
No, but like,
I mean, like, had the players to be good there. It's just Unfortunately, some people are not head coaches, and I really
Agreed.
think he's probably not a head coach. He's
And
a
that's
great
fair.
DC. He's a great DC. You know who's looking for a defensive coordinator right now?
USC.
Wait, USC. This guy might just fall into their lap because he is a good DC.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he'll be hired. He'll be hired.
Jimbo Fisher is a little weird because yes, they've had 2 not great years, lower than expected. I mean, obviously they come in and they're thinking college football playoff, which they have the talent to. Elijah Robinson is the interim head coach who was under rule at Temple. He was rumored to be our defensive line coach before Pot Roast. Yeah, Pot Roast.
Pork Chop was a running back.
Oh, yeah, that's
Marlon
right.
Lucky, baby.
When
we fucking dude, Lucky. He was a stud.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll see. And then we got Chip Kelly at UCLA. That threw me for a loop because I mean, I'm like,
it's surprising. I don't understand what their motive is there. Who are they gonna go get that's better? It's available and will come to UCLA.
I think there's a guy that is up for both of that could be up for both of those jobs, and one fan base is going to be very upset about it.
Who do you think?
I think Dion goes to either UCLA or Texas A&M.
I
could see him doing it in A&M.
I can't see the boosters hiring him because the boosters they on with Kevin Sumlin. By the way, Kevin Sumlin had a better record than Jimbo. They fired him. So the firing of Jimbo, let me just start on that. The firing of Jimbo doesn't surprise me only because, they won and everything last week. They're paying him $95 million.
Or $72 million.
Well, that's what's left. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And they're paying him a substantial amount of money to win 8 games. That can't be done. Texas A&M is the richest college football program in America right now. They want championships. They want championships now. Dion will not give you championships now. Dion will bring the hype. He'll bring the players. But as we can see, Dion, I don't know, can coach at that kind of level just by watching him at Colorado because he has all the talent at Colorado. He has great players at Colorado, and he has a great coaching staff at Colorado. But there's some questionable things like coddles his son, the quarterback, and blames the offensive line. Yeah, your offensive line's probably not the greatest and probably needs to be better, but you throw him under the bus like that, that's not a good coach. You don't point any fingers at your 2 boys who one gives up big plays after big plays. The other one takes sacks all the time. Dude, scramble, do something. So I don't think Texas A&M boosters want to around with someone like Dion until he's a proven coach. I think the hot candidate, and I'll put money on the person they go get. If it's not Urban Meyer, which you got to mention Urban Meyer and big names like that, it's Kalen DeBoer from Washington. I think he's.
Oh,
I do not think he'll be at Washington next year. I think he'll be at A&M. It just like in your mind, you think about it, you're like, why wouldn't they go get this guy? They have all the money. And I've also heard Dan Campbell for the Texas A&M job from Lions. Dan Campbell from the Lions. Yeah.
Why? Why would he leave the NFL?
Our boosters have said we will pay more money for whoever we want, including Dan Campbell. They have more money. Dude, Texas A&M has stupid money.
He's not leaving. He's not leaving the NFL.
But he's an A&M. He's an A&M grad. I don't think he'll leave. I don't think so either. But you look at it, you look at it. Dan Campbell was going to be fired if he didn't have a decent ending to the season last year. You do know that,
yeah?
Like he was on the hot seat. In the NFL, you get 1 to 2 years and then you're gone. If you don't win by then, you're gone. We've seen it over and over and over again. In college, look how long we gave Scott Frost. Probably should have fired Scott Frost after year 3. We gave him 5 years. Why? Because he's an alum. Played here. He won a national title here. Dan Campbell played at Texas A&M. They love their alum there. Makes sense. It does make sense. I hope he doesn't leave the Lions though.
I hope not, because that'd be
a bummer. But
that would be a really big bummer.
It's not crazy talk. Some people, when they hear that right away, they're like, no way. And then you're thinking about it.
I think I think Dan Lanning is more of a chance to go to
See,
Texas
he
A&M.
came out and said he didn't want to leave
Yeah,
Oregon. He has,
but
they give that bullshit statement,
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I could
Wait
see
until
it
the
getting
money. Wait until the
interviewed.
money. I wait until the money back. The buck truck comes back, and
Yeah.
it's
He'd
got.
be a good hire. He'd be
He
a good
would be.
hire
He'd
there.
get that
Yep.
defense figured out, and I think that's their biggest issue.
Yep. And I mean, they're gonna still get recruits there. It's Texas A&M, dude. The largest stadiums.
Yeah,
It's just
agreed.
SEC power. I mean, I wouldn't even call them a powerhouse yet, but it is a powerhouse football program when they're on top. They spend very little on top, so they
No, yeah.
A&M is in dire need of a proven winner. Dan Lanning, Kalen DeBoer, I don't even know, the Washington coach, are the two hot commodities. Dan Campbell's name will be thrown around. People like Stephen A. Smith say Dion Primetime needs to go there. Why not? He'll bring all the hype, which he will. He will bring the hype. He will bring the players. It's just I don't know if he could bring the wins there. Need a proven winner. That's all I gotta say. That's my soapbox about Texas A&M.
No, yeah, and it's just weird. And then
is.
obviously back to Chip Kelly. I was like, what the hell? This doesn't make sense. Like they've been okay the last couple of years, and then I look at his record, and he's exactly 500. He's 63-63. Like
it's so surprising to me because they had DTR there, who was just a stud baller, and who I think the Browns need to keep. But it's surprising because it's Chip Kelly. He gave us a great years at Oregon. Great fun years, high-flying offense and everything. Why can't he do that at UCLA? Well, now, if these rumors are true, can you imagine Chip Kelly just sitting there on Twitter and just reads that, just like, what the like,
no,
hey.
Agreed, yeah.
But
that's wild. That's wild, dude.
It is.
I just don't that's so, especially from moving conferences, I would not want to fire my head coach. Going into a new conference, into a new landscape. Like that's something I would not want. And I think that's why Washington and Oregon are going to renew those contracts because they're getting that money. They're getting that big bag. And I mean, if UCLA does fire Chip Kelly, I think Urban Meyer makes the most sense going to UCLA.
At UCLA? Really?
They have the most money. They have they've got a buttload of money, and he knows the Big Ten.
And he's on his last year of his contract, so like they're not going to owe him much.
I think that's a slam dunk hire. If I'm going to be honest, he knows how to win in the Big Ten. He's going to recruit Big Ten. He's not going to have to leave the state of California for talent. Why? Like, why not? Like that makes a whole lot of sense. But
so you're gonna have Texas A&M, UCLA, maybe. Who else?
That's all that I've heard of. I mean, Mississippi State,
Northwestern, Mississippi State,
Northwestern. Their guy. I think they keep him. He's been playing really well.
He's got an interim tag on him still, so who knows what they're gonna do?
I think he's a hell of a coach.
They have won double the amount of games that everyone thought they
beat Wisconsin, who they should have lost to last week. Let's just go out and say that. And I like the guy. I think he's a good fit for Northwestern. I mean, they're going to be bottom of the barrel probably in the next couple of years. But like, give him time.
He has a great pedigree. I mean, look at where he came from. North Dakota State. He was DC at North Dakota State. Spent 1 year at Northwestern. For this year, his head coach gets fired. He walks into that. I mean, he has multiple national championships on his fingers.
Yeah,
like he knows what to do. And you know what? They may keep him, and I hope they do. Give the guy a chance here.
But let's get into the games. I honestly think that we're going to head to the Pac-12. I think we're headed towards a rematch between Oregon and Washington.
Pac-12. Absolutely.
Both of those.
Hope so.
I love that idea. Both teams close wins against both USC and Utah. Who do you like more, Oregon or Washington?
Right now, Washington and Oregon play at a very, very high level, but I do like Oregon if this possible rematch. I feel like Oregon, Dan Lanning, they have a chip on their shoulder because they lost that game, and they probably shouldn't have lost that game. It was very, very close, and there's a couple things that could have gone either way. I like Oregon in the rematch here, just to cause a little drama and shakeup in the playoffs. I hope both of them are Oregon's one loss and Washington's in undefeated. I really hope so. And this would be a game that would decide who goes to the playoffs.
No, agreed. I think Washington
Yeah.
I think Washington has the better defense. They showed it in that game. Like, yes, they were going like that should have been a pick six. And the fact that the guy dropped the ball
how stupid are
just
you?
before the goal line. What the heck are you doing?
Yeah.
And I feel like Washington has a deeper team right now. Penix is playing out of his mind. I think that's going to be the winner of that game will get a berth to the college football playoff, no matter what happens. I think, especially if it's Washington undefeated, there's no way that you can look at the resume and compare. Let's say Florida State and Washington are undefeated at the end of the year. I'm giving it to Washington. Washington has played a lot harder games than Florida State has.
Yeah.
Yes,
well,
Florida State
say one
beat
loss.
LSU.
Yeah, say one loss here. If Florida State had one loss and if Washington had one loss, you got to give it to Washington.
No, you got it. No, even regardless, I think you still
they're
give
both
it to Washington,
undefeated.
even if they're both undefeated.
If they're both undefeated, they're neither one of them are like not gonna not make it. Like they're both gonna make it. Florida State's in the ACC.
So you think the loser of the game in 2 weeks is going to be out?
I think if Michigan loses, they have a great chance to still make the playoffs. If Ohio State loses, they're looking for a reason to kick Ohio State. I know they're number one, but they might not be after tonight. But they're looking for a reason to kick Ohio State out right now. Even
Agreed.
Kurt Herbstreit says they're not the number one team in the nation, which they're not. I think if Michigan lost, Michigan would still have a chance because they have shown they are a top dog. Ohio State's never shown they're a top dog. They just have beaten better opponents than Michigan, than Georgia, than other teams. You know what I mean? So but I think an undefeated Florida State team makes it. I think a one-loss Florida State team does not make it. You know, if Florida State has to run the table only because the ACC is not as strong this year as the Pac-12.
No, it's not.
You remember the argument ever since the playoffs started. The ACC, the Big Ten, and the SEC have been dominant. The Pac-12 has always been left out. So I'm saying now, you take the ACC, that argument that they're dominant, out of their hands and put it in Pac-12 because Pac-12 is loaded.
Oh, it's loaded. Yeah, they might go undefeated minus the playoff in bowl season this year. All their teams are really good.
Yeah, they are. And I think, who is it?
Arizona.
I think even like I would put, if this situation ever arose where Washington loses to Oregon in the championship game, Oregon gets in. I still put Washington at number 4.
I wouldn't hate that.
Like I'd put Georgia 1. I'd put Georgia 1, and Georgia. They're gonna have to. They are playing Alabama in the SEC championship. That has made
Alabama is. I think they are the dangerous team in college football. And it like we've never seen Knicks except for one of the years where they didn't have so great of a year, but they made the national championship. It's only happened once,
too, did they?
And they still won. So that's why I never count out
you
Nick
can't
Saban.
count out Nick.
That man,
but like
is
if Georgia does beat Alabama in the SEC championship, they're one. No question about it.
No question about that.
Michigan's 2 because Michigan's going to just dog walk whoever comes out of the West. Michigan's 2. Nice plug there. And then I think the winner of the Pac-12 gets 3, Oregon or Washington.
I would agree with that.
If Florida State, like I said, if Florida State loses, you have a 1-loss Florida State, a 1-loss Washington or Oregon, and a 1-loss Ohio State. I'm putting the next Pac-12 in there.
Yeah, no, I know.
There's going to be 2.
I agree 100%. And I think the logic for that would be Notre Dame's law. That win at Notre Dame isn't as pretty as it has been the last couple of weeks. It hasn't. Mm-hmm. Notre Dame has fallen off a cliff, and they have fallen face first. It sucks because I thought Notre Dame was going to be a good team this year, and I really like Marcus Freeman. Yep. He's a hell of a coach, and we talked about that earlier in the season. But speaking of Georgia, and we'll talk about Michigan, Ohio State here in a bit. Georgia obviously takes care of business, but Ole Miss made it a game for a while. Like Ole Miss was a game
first half, second half it was over.
Yeah, Brock Bowers is back. Didn't know that he was back. I thought he was out for the season.
I mean, the way
that was interesting.
the way Carson Beck's playing right now, he's jumping in the Heisman rankings. I think he's like in the top 7 right now.
Yeah, and everybody was
Brock
saying that
Bowers,
that they were saying that he like their quarterback position is the weakest position on that offense.
yeah, I
And
think it's
that's
their running
scary.
back position, which is tough for 'em.
Yeah, I mean,
But like
it shouldn't be
they're
tough for them because they're getting
I wouldn't
fucking
even
5-star after 5-star.
yeah, I wouldn't even say like they're back to full strength because the running back room is depleted. Edwards is
Yeah.
out for the year. But damn, dude, they just fucking loaded.
They
Next
are.
man up there. And
No, yeah,
the
absolutely.
way Carson Beck's playing is incredible. He's keeping them in the games. He's just dominating people now. And now that they
Agreed.
got Brock, who's that other kid, the wide receiver, 84, Monkey?
McConkey.
Dude's a stud, man.
He
He's
is
just as
really
good as
good.
he's just as good as
Yeah.
Renfro.
Yeah, he
But
is
yeah,
so good.
George is really tough right now. And like
Yep.
they really put it to Ole Miss in the second half there.
Yeah. I mean, Alabama's gonna Alabama. Like I feel
Yep.
like they're gonna kick the living hell out of Auburn. That's not
they
even gonna
probably
be a
are.
close
Yep.
game, in my opinion. That and Auburn is it's like, okay, here we go again. Auburn's gonna try to play spoiler. Like this game has been close every single year. 2 years ago, they had to play 4 overtime, and that was with Bryce Young, John Mechie, or Joe Mechie, and that group. That's insane.
Yep.
And maybe it'll be even more match. I don't know, but this defense is scary as hell. Let's move to the Big Ten. What a dumpster fire the Big Ten West is. Obviously, Nebraska's still in it. Iowa's in it. Wisconsin's in it. Like anybody and their mother, like the way teams are losing in the Big Ten West is absolutely insane. Whereas the Big Ten East, everybody is taking care of business. It's the top 3: Ohio State, Michigan,
Well, they're top
Penn
dogs,
State.
yeah.
And it's going to that Michigan Penn State game. When is James Franklin going to, like, they just fired their OC. Like, I get that. That guy's been there for 5-6 years. They've had successful years. When is James Franklin going to take that next step? I mean, haven't they won? They've won a Big Ten championship.
Yeah, they won that year. They won that year. They got left out of the playoffs, and they were all saying, "Oh, we should be in it. Should be."
Was that 2020?
No, it wasn't 2020. It was
20
earlier.
Oh, was that the year? Was that the year that they
18 maybe?
Was that the year that Saquon and McSorley played against Sam Darnold?
I think
in that
so.
Rose Bowl game?
I think so.
That was a hell of a game.
Yeah.
That was a good game. But Michigan just did what Michigan wanted to do. The whole drama with Harbaugh. Like, come on. Can we talk about the guy sitting in crying? Like, I get it. You won a big game. But you're acting like the guy is dead.
I know.
He's not dead. Can we just stop with the whole narrative of whenever Jim Harbaugh gets in trouble? Oh, it's like, oh, we got to remember him. Like, who gives a crap?
Yeah.
You guys are winning with or without him. Please stop making it about in memoriam bet. Just go out and freaking win. Just go out and win. Just keep playing the way you are. Doesn't matter who your coach is. Just please stop the charade. I'm so tired of it. I'm so tired of it's us against the world. It was Georgia last year. Like, shut up. Shut up. You're good.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
stop. I could go on and on about it. Like, it's so weird. It's weird to the point, like, you watch a fan base get all up in arms, but like, you guys got caught for cheating. Like, you guys would be reacting the same way if, like, Nebraska, Ohio State, or like, I mean, they were laughing at Ohio State when they got for the tattoo stuff. Like, what do you expect the rest of the Big Ten to do?
Yeah,
just
and you
sit
have
back and just be like, oh, no, absolutely not.
Right, and
like
you have Des Howard sitting there like, oh,
yeah, screw him.
Don't judge Michigan until all the facts are in. Blah blah blah. It shouldn't happen.
Bull.
Well, dude, and then he's calling for Nebraska to be kicked out of the Big Ten. Why? Why?
For wanting to play football. Yes, is it during COVID? But again, it was about a tongue-in-cheek comment.
Everyone else was fucking.
Yeah, when we're talking about a coach possibly knowing about sign stealing for an entire conference over a 3-year span, those are two completely different conversations.
Yep.
And I don't watch College Game Day for that reason. I can't stand him.
I
His
don't
takes are
either. I
terrible.
can't.
And
It's
and
terrible.
the way he likes to play politics,
Mhm.
not like actual politics, but like he plays politics in the well, let's let no. Keep
Yep.
the same energy as what you did when you went after Nebraska. Keep
Yep.
your fan base, keep your university, your athletic department
Mhm.
as much. If you keep it up as a high standard, you need to keep that discipline as a high standard as well. You
Well, I
can't
just
have your cake and eat it too. That's not how this
Yep.
works.
I always it's hilarious when people in general get caught doing something wrong, then they play all defensive and get angry and like start pointing fingers at everyone else. Well, he did this, they did that, blah blah blah. It just shows that you're guilty. Like how
Yeah,
Michigan
no,
fans,
agreed.
like including Portnoy, all of them were like, "Oh, we didn't do this," and guys, Ohio State doing this. Yeah, Ohio State's probably got their own cheating ways and everything. You guys just got caught, dude.
Yeah,
Sorry
exactly.
about it.
Yeah.
Like, and it's the dead
Yeah.
giveaway because how defensive you guys are right now about it.
No, yeah,
You
agreed.
know
Agreed.
it
And
was wrong, and exactly what you said. If anyone else was doing it, like if Ohio State was doing it, they'd be up in arms about it. So
yeah, it's a double standard, and it's always a double
Mhm.
standard no matter what situation it is
Yep.
in life, in sports, whatever. It whatever. It is what it is.
Mhm.
And
Yep.
but like you can't be mad.
Mhm.
Michigan is winning.
They
Whether
are.
they
Whether they
they are
cheat or
getting
not.
yeah, whether they cheat or not, they have the best team in the Big Ten. And they'll probably kick the crap out of Ohio State next week.
I hope they do. Like,
I hope they do too, because I think
I
Ohio
just think
State is
that's funny
overrated.
because I think Ohio State fans are just worse than Michigan fans.
No, I
And they're
agree.
bad. They're bad. Like they
No, they
think
are. They're
they're on
bad.
this pedestal. Like, yeah, dude, guys, you Michigan, you haven't won a national championship since you're since not even the 97. All right. You
7,
can't
yeah,
claim
not
that.
even
We can
no,
claim that.
yeah.
Ohio State, you guys are good almost every year and you can't get it done. Like, go
Agreed.
yourselves. Go
Oh,
yourself.
yeah.
You're frauds. You're like the
No.
James Franklin of football. God,
Yeah. I'm
just
just
all this smoke.
I'm so sick and tired of that narrative. Like
Yep.
you cannot cry wolf when
Mhm.
your teams are being successful.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's not going to matter. Guess what? They're probably going to win the national championship, and these punishments won't come down until 4 or 5 years later.
Yeah, that's true.
So why does it
Then they'll have to
matter?
vacate it. They'll have to vacate it when it's all the party's done anyway.
Exactly. In other news, Alberts got another 8-year deal
Fucking A.
as our
Good for
AD,
him.
which is good. I'm glad for that.
Yep.
But that's kind of it for college football. And
Yeah, other than the firings this year and the questionable firings, that kind of dominated the surface of everything. Just like, wow. Like literally after Nebraska plays on Friday, on Black Friday against Iowa, there's the games on Saturday, which is very few and far between of good ones. And then it's literally everyone's firing everything in sight. That's why they call it Black Monday, because it's just like everyone's just executed from their damn jobs and shit like that. It's just
and then
it felt like that like this week.
Yeah,
Like
it did.
once the Texas A&M
Dude.
Jimbo Fisher news broke, it felt like there's more and more and more firings starting to happen.
Dude, you know what's crazy? Okay, I'm gonna read you the standings. Okay.
Let's hear it.
5-2, 3-4, 3-4, 3-4, 3-4, 3-4, 3-4, 2-5. Are you kidding me? That is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-way tie. Minnesota is at the bottom, and we lost to them. What a joke! And we beat Northwestern, and Northwestern's above us. Make it make sense. It doesn't make any sense.
Who does Iowa play this week?
Well, I can proudly say that they probably won't hit. I wonder what the under is for their game, actually. I'll probably take that, believe it or not.
Is it Illinois?
Yeah, it is. All right, let's check the over under.
So if Iowa wins if Iowa wins this week, they win the Big Ten West.
Well, no, because we beat Illinois. Oh,
okay. They're 2 games ahead of us.
Well, but time out. If we beat Wisconsin, then it comes down to us and Iowa.
Wisconsin. But like I said, Iowa is 2 games ahead of us in the Big Ten.
Wow.
We have 4 losses. They have 2.
What do you think? What do you think the over under is?
For Illinois, Iowa?
Yeah, take a guess.
30.
And
30.
a half.
30 and a half.
Yeah.
Hammer the over or under.
Oh shit. Has not failed me. Has not failed me. All right.
Like $100 on it or something. Win some fucking money on it.
I should. Every single week. Under. No, because I'll get minus money and I'll only get paid $95 back. I'll lose $5. To the NFL, keep an eye on college football rankings, if you wouldn't mind. NFL slate. I mean, there were and I will come out and say slate this week looked like doo-doo. It looked like the worst from Thursday to Sunday. Looked like the worst slate of NFL I've seen in a really long time. But it kind of shook itself out. There were some bright spots in the week, and I mean, you just got to find the games. I mean, the Germany game, weird. Jonathan Taylor's the only one that scores a touchdown. Bill Belichick is now 2-8.
He made it back from Germany.
He did. Tanner Orlovsky said on Pat McAfee that Bill Belichick is already in line to be a head coach and GM at a different team.
What's with that?
First of all, yes, he won 6 Super Bowls, but let's not forget that he didn't just have the greatest quarterback of all time.
Yeah,
helping them win Super Bowls.
right.
And what makes you think, as an organization, that Bill
he wasn't the GM? He wasn't the GM in half of them.
He's missed the playoffs 4 years in a row after 20 plus years of dominance in a crappy AFC East. And if I'm Bill, I'm done. I've had my success. I'm not doing anything else. Exactly.
Have you heard that reason why he wants to continue coach?
To beat Brady?
So no, because he wants to. He was a grad assistant or a volunteer or something, a part of Don Shula's Miami Dolphins game or Miami Dolphins team. And Shula apparently told Bill that you're not a very good coach and you won't coach in the NFL ever. Don Shula is the most winningest coach in the NFL. Belichick's like 20 games from beating that record.
Hold on.
And that's why he wants to stay in right now. So I've heard.
To be honest, he only needs 16 more games to tie it and 17 more to pass him.
17? 16 to tie, 17 to pass.
17 to win. Because Shula's at 347 and Belichick's at 331.
I could just see him being that stubborn and wanting to break that record and then go to like the Miami Dolphins headquarters and just be like, yeah, fuck you, Shula, dance on your grave and everything.
I just don't. He's not successful. He hasn't been successful in 4 years.
My opinion is you cannot be a GM and a coach in the NFL.
Absolutely not.
Any professional sport. You can't be a GM and an owner in the professional sport, Jerry fucking Jones. It doesn't work. You got to focus on one thing at a time. Being a GM and the head coach, they have no talent on the Patriots. And the GM and the head coach and the owner have like all the say on who the draft. All the Patriots have done in recent years is trade back. They thought they got a gem with Mac Jones. He's not. Mac Jones ain't him. Mac Jones is no better than a backup quarterback. I'm sorry. I'll say it. I don't care. He's no better than a backup quarterback. They traded Jimmy G for pebbles in goddamn sand. When they could have got better draft picks for that guy. They did get some. But they don't draft. He doesn't draft well. They just ruined the entire franchise for 10 plus years because now they're going to be bottom feeders for a long time. And he might be fired. So I don't know. You can't do both.
He hasn't had he was 10 and 7. He was 10 and 7. He was 10. Go ahead.
No, I'm done. Go ahead.
All right. So Brady's last year was 2019, right? Correct? 2019? Yeah, 2019. Okay. Since then, the Patriots 2020, they went 7-9 in 2020, 10-7 in 2021, 2022 2 they went 8-9 last year, and he's 2-8 this year. That's three losing seasons in their opinion. There's one winning season above 500. But here's the rest of their games. At New York, at home against Chargers, at Giants. They'll probably win that one.
They'll win that one.
Chargers, maybe. Thursday night against Pittsburgh. That's a loss. Kansas City at home. That's a huge loss. At Denver, toss up. Denver's playing well. At Buffalo, probably a loss. And the Jets, probably a loss. They're looking at a 12-loss season, dude. 12 losses.
Top 5 pick in the draft.
And who the want to take a coach that is a combined not even 100 above 500 the last 3 years? I'm sorry, I'm not. No. From one AFC team to another AFC team, the Texans are the hottest team in the AFC, taking down the Bengals in Cincinnati. Yep. CJ Stroud is playing himself into not only Rookie of the Year, not even Offensive Player of the Year. He might possibly be in the MVP conversation right now. That's how good he is playing. That's how good he's playing. This team is playing good defense, like it's bend but don't break defense.
And they're only going to get better.
I would not want to see them.
DeMarco Ryan is a hell of a coach. He's it's going to be, I mean, they're not a team that's going to do anything in the playoffs. They're a team that's going to get there, and they will build on it.
They might be scary.
And they will build on
it.
Because they know what they need. They need an offensive line, maybe a true number one wide receiver, and build defense. That team's scary. That team's going to be scary.
See, I don't agree with you on the offensive line. They've kept him pretty clean this year. Tunsil got paid. That's helping.
Yeah,
he doesn't have to worry about the whole left side of his offensive line. I think that's perfect. And I said this to you in text. Okay, I'm going to give you my rankings in the AFC right now.
Oh God.
Top 5: Chiefs, Texans, Ravens, Browns, Jags.
Damn.
Miami has to prove it. Buffalo has to prove it.
I think Houston is playing as a top 5 team in the AFC. I don't think they're the second best team in the AFC. Your Brown pick is more surprising than anything to me.
The defense is really there. The defense is going to keep them. It's going to keep them in games.
There, but who's going to score them the points? Like
Deshaun Watson has to. I think this game he had a better game. Yeah. He just needs to get back to Houston. Deshaun, not the grabbing of shit, but
he's a long ways away from that, though.
He is, but I think the Browns and the Ravens again, like they have a go-to-ground game. Lamar Jackson just needs to get out of his own way, throwing the ball. He had 2 really bad picks. Obviously, the Chiefs have issues with the road. They got to figure out play calling on offense.
No, run the ball. Like everyone in the world sees how hard Pacheco runs. Give him the goddamn rock.
No, I agree.
If you don't,
I 100%
you see
agree
Mahomes not trusting his wide receivers, make it easy for him. Give it to Pacheco. Pass it to Pacheco.
No, I agree.
Like he's probably, other than Travis Kelce and Mahomes, Pacheco's probably your number 3 top guy on the offense. Easy.
No, I agree. Yeah,
but they don't give him love. Give him the ball.
Yeah,
find ways to get him.
Who are you? Yeah, who are your top?
It's playing good. I'm gonna give props to McKinnon.
Who are your top teams in the AFC?
My top teams, off the top of my head, I got Chiefs 1. Chiefs 1. Tell Lou until spoken otherwise. Yep. Chiefs 1. I mean, after losses, I still got to put Cincinnati just because they're gonna. I don't know. I just like Joe Burrow.
The defense needs to get
their defense has always been. Their defense has always been
their Achilles heel. Yeah.
So I like Cincinnati 2. I like Baltimore 3. That is hard. Baltimore, Pittsburgh.
That's what I'm saying, dude. You could have. There's a possibility that all 4 teams can make the. Yeah. They can make the. All 4 can make the playoffs. That's very possible. It's crazy, but it's possible.
Yeah, that's my 3.
You're not even going to put Jags
after what they did against San Francisco,
and we'll talk about that in the next. Yeah,
dude, oh my God! Like you're having a great year. You're having a great year, and San Francisco comes into your and just dog walks you. Like, come on. That's
That-
how far away we are against one of the top teams in the NFC. Don't even bother showing up to the Super Bowl if you get there. Like, oh my God.
fair. I mean, that's a fair criticism. But then again, it's
Yeah.
you also have a healthy Deebo Samuel now for the 49ers, and we'll get into that. Who
That's
do
all I
you
gotta
have?
say, top
You have the
three.
Texas. Oh, you top 3? You can't even give
That's
me
my
5?
top 3.
You can't even give me 5?
I don't even know if there's top 5 in there yet. Texans have 4 losses. They're playing hot right now. Ask me 2 weeks from now. We'll see what happens. It's the top 3 right now.
Right.
I know all 3 of them. One had a bye, 2 of them lost, but I just feel like the AFC's kind of weak right now. They're kind of weak and brittle.
And it's the Chiefs for the taking. Sure,
Oh,
they could run away. They could run away. They could run away with it.
Like I said, until said otherwise, Chiefs right now, number 1.
Yeah.
Even if they lose to Philly this week, they're still number 1 in the AFC. So.
Which they could.
Yeah.
Very easily. 49ers take care of the Jags. 49ers, yes, the Eagles are the Eagles. I truly think that this full healthy team, and we'll find out in 3 weeks when they play the Eagles in Philly. Like, was Brock Purdy getting hurt in that division, in that championship game, the Achilles heel? And we'll see it. Brock hadn't played good up until after that bye week. He needed that bye week to get healthy, but Jags just ran into the buzzsaw, man. A team off the bye, and it just, they couldn't get anything going. The defense was kind of pressured.
Trevor Lawrence needs to start playing like he's the number 1 overall pick and one of the top quarterbacks.
Agreed.
He needs
to start hitting Ridley.
I see. Yeah, he does. I seen after a tweet that after their game against 49ers, he still has less passing touchdowns than Justin Fields. Justin Fields hasn't played in 4 weeks.
That's crazy.
Like,
That's
what
insane.
are we doing?
That's insane.
Like, Trevor, figure your shit out.
Yeah. From one NFC team to another NFC team that I need to stop betting against. God dang it. Every single time it hurts. The Lions just keep on winning, dude. The Lions, would not surprise me if they made it far in the playoffs and lost in the NFC Championship game. That's how good this team plays. Dan Campbell has got that team humming. They're able to run the ball. Their play calling on offense is amazing. I'm surprised that offensive coordinator has not gotten hasn't got a head coaching position yet. He calls the game perfectly for them. The Chargers just need to move on, in my opinion.
Yeah, they do. They got to.
Brandon Staley that they are the second highest paid defense, and you wouldn't know it by the way they play. They are terrible. That defense is terrible, and Justin Herbert is so good.
For a defensive guru, he's just not there.
Yeah,
like it's time. You have literally a Super Bowl roster, and nobody's going to disagree with that. A Super Bowl roster is in your hands, and you guys have a 500. Are they 500?
Yeah,
a 500 record. That's ridiculous. What the is that problem?
Yeah, it's wild, man. It's wild. I behind the Niners and the Eagles. I would lock in the Lions unless they lose 4 games in a row in that 3rd seed. And they get a home playoff game they haven't won a playoff game period since 1991.
Yep.
Who's insane
your top 5? Who's your top 5 in that?
In the NFC?
Yep.
Very slim margin. Eagles, 49ers, Lions, Dallas, I guess. But I really don't feel confident about it.
Yeah.
On 5th. I'll go Seahawks. Still.
Yeah.
They played a tough game against the Commies. Which, by the way, 3.5 really saved my ass. Ooh. I was sweating that game out. Oh, that was not pretty.
Yeah. I got the Phillies 1. I have the Lions 2. Niners 3. Should I put Dallas 4? Yeah, Dallas 4. Dallas 4 and Vikings 5. Vikings sitting at
Josh
5.
Josh Dobbs.
Yeah.
Again, getting the job done, dude. He is so good.
He's so good. That's I love it. I'm not even a Vikings fan, but I find myself rooting for this guy.
Agreed. No, yeah, he's played well, and he gets JJ back.
Is it for sure JJ. This week?
Sounded like it to me.
I mean, it says on Fantasy's projected points finally, but it says on the deal he's still on the IR.
finally got 8chan back. Ooh, baby. And they're saying that he's gonna get full. He's not gonna be limited at all.
Yeah, but he's
And
still
they
gonna be running back
play
number
the
2, bitch.
and they play the Raiders, and they're probably gonna beat them and rush for over 250 yards. I'm okay with that. Anyway, speaking of the Raiders, Sunday night game was actually entertaining. Yes, maybe. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of points. It was a very well even matched game when it probably shouldn't have been. And do the Raiders end up making the decision of keeping Antonio Pierce? I think he makes it hard for them. I think they should have kept the guy that they that was the interim last time. I thought he was a hell of a. I thought he did a good job in the interim. But I mean, the guys respect him. You got to go with the with what your players are because they're wanting to play for this guy, and it's night and day in that locker room. It's crazy to see how much of a difference it is from Josh McDaniels to Antonio Pierce, and they showed up. They played well, and the Jets just now. Here's the question: if the Jets, Rodgers has come out and said that he is projected to come back. He would like to be back mid-December.
Yeah.
Okay. I think the only way the Jets allow that to happen is if they're in a contention for a wild card spot. That's the only way. The only way you're letting him touch the field in December. That's the only way.
Right.
They have to win at least the next 2 or 3 games, stay above 500, and steal a couple of games that they're not supposed to win, and then let Rodgers play out and see where you go. Because this is a good team. They're just missing a quarterback. And I feel like Zach Wilson is also getting shit on. And he's played relatively well.
Yeah, I feel like he had
they haven't
kind of
scored
a
a
bad game
touchdown
this week, but
He,
it definitely just shows that he's not a starting quarterback in this NFL until he works on his mechanics. And when will that come? I have no idea. They are just praying that maybe they can squeak one out here and there and get to that wild card spot, like you said.
Do you think they keep that coach though? Not the Jets, but the Raiders. Antonio
Raiders?
Pierce? Yeah.
You know, I think Mark Davis is going to give him a fair shot. I really do.
I think
he came out and said that he wishes he would have gave that other guy a fair shot at the head coaching job. I still feel like after I made this comment when they fired what's his face?
McDaniels.
Yeah, when teams fire coaches, bet on them to win that next game. Because players come out firing hot and everything. I still kind of feel like they're riding wave. I don't think the Raiders are very good yet.
No.
This guy's definitely a motivator. He's definitely a motivator. And so the jury's still out on him. Can he get him to that next level, get him to a playoff if he's the head man at the job and everything? But I don't know. We'll see.
The problem is that they got really good teams down the stretch. They got at Dolphins, Chiefs at home, Vikings, Chargers, at Chiefs, Christmas Day, at Colts, Broncos at home. Like those, like the Vikings aren't bad. Dolphins aren't bad because they'll play a team that's not good, so they'll probably win that game. So the Dolphins will probably win that game. Chiefs are gonna be pissed off, most likely. So it doesn't look great, but then again, like they're doing pretty well.
They control their own destiny here. If Antonio Pierce, wins 6 of their last whatever games they have left, I think he has a real shot at getting the job. He's got to win. He's got to prove that he is the right guy.
Yeah, he's got to win. And then the Monday night game. Good God, how do you lose like that? That's just
tired of the Bills.
It's just very uncharacteristic. Like obviously they fire their OC, which by the way, the video of him losing it at that one game is just perfect now. Oh my God, it's perfect. But like, can't lose like that, man. You can't lose like that at all.
No, you can't. It's bad. It's a bad look on the head coach, and I said it for weeks now. They need to move on from McDermott. They really do. Like I feel like that now that they moved on from their OC, if they moved on from McDermott, who's going to be the Durham head coach? Joe Brady could be. Joe Brady is going to be a good offensive-minded and OC. He should be an OC already. See how the Bills look this upcoming week, All right, here we go. Top 6. Number 6, Oregon Ducks.
Really?
Yep.
So that means Washington's probably going to be 5 again, and it's not going to change.
I think the only Yeah,
The only change will be,
fifth.
and the only
The only
change will
thing
be
that could
5
change
and
is
or 3,
Georgia.
Georgia and
2-1.
yeah.
They have enough balls to do that. All right, come on. That was just 2 teams.
So the top,
Florida State's 4.
and then Michigan 3, Ohio State 2, and then Georgia 1 probably.
Yeah, probably. How can you not rank Georgia number 1 after the beatdown they just laid?
They're not number 1?
I don't know yet. They're still on 4.
Oh God.
Number 3 is Michigan.
Yeah.
I would have really pissed off Michigan fans if they would have dropped them because of the cheating scandal and they don't have a coach. Gotta drop them.
That'd have been so
What?
funny.
Are you kidding me? Ohio State's number 2. Georgia's number 1.
Yeah. All right.
Wow.
Well, all right. They got it right.
Yeah, that's how it should be. I
Yep.
mean, I still think Ohio State's overrated. I would put them 5 or 6. Washington
Agreed.
is a top 4. Washington right now is a top 4 team. They've done everything right.
I absolutely agree. Well, on that note, that's going to be it for the podcast. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications so you never miss any of our content. Brad will be back with
East Coast Brad.
East Coast Brad will be back for Friday's episode. But that's going to be it. Go Big Red, go Chiefs, go Jags, go Commies. And
have a week, boys. Have a week. Stay strong. It's personal.